Hello, I'm Mackie Prince. I'm the director of the graduate program, the master's program, a Master of Science in Forensic Science here at John Jay College. If you are watching this, you know that forensic science is the application of basic sciences to matters pertaining to the law. So we are training future forensic scientists in chemistry, physics, biology, and microscopy techniques to be applied to casework in crime laboratories all over the country. We do have a core instrumental laboratory. This is a laboratory where I'm standing right now. Instrumental analysis is critical for many different disciplines: arson investigations, drug identification, unknown substances of any kind. So we have plenty of instruments. Every student will have hands-on experience and will receive unknown substances that they have to identify during the class. This is a 2-semester class starting in the first semester, and we start with spectroscopy, just usual UV spec. Then here you can see a HPLC instrument. Here you have Fourier transformed infrared, and further down the room you see our gas chromatography instruments. All of these instruments have an application in forensic science. Additional instruments are in the room next door. Sorry, I need to switch the light on. I don't see. So in this room we have atomic absorption and X-ray diffraction machines. As you can see, there's plenty of space. Our classes are limited to 24 people per semester, so every student will have real experience on every instrument. Let me make sure I switch the lights on in first now. Our program has 3 specializations. Students can choose between toxicology, forensic molecular biology, and criminalistics. The laboratory I'm standing right now is the toxicology laboratory. In toxicology, we train students in detection of drugs and their metabolites, because in toxicology, our substrate is not the unknown powder found at the crime scene. It's biological samples taken from either live or deceased individuals. Here you can see our fume hoods. Toxicology targets organic molecules and poisons, which means our extraction methods need to use organic solvents, and students need to be protected from these chemicals. After having prepped their samples in this room, students will bring their samples to the next room, where we have our toxicology instrumentation. And some of this will be familiar from instrumental lab. We have HPLC and GCMS again. But here, for example, there is a liquid chromatography mass spectrometer, which is the workhorse in use in forensic toxicology labs throughout the country right now. We have some additional instrumentation for screening, like this ELISA machine. And we have over here a point sampler where samples can be analyzed without extensive prep processing first. The science department at John Jay is located on 3 floors in the new building here on campus. We are on the 4th floor right now, where we have our graduate laboratories. On the 5th floor, we have faculty research laboratories, which is important because our program has a thesis component, and students will be required to perform research with different faculty mentors. We also have a third floor where we teach basic science classes to our undergrads and as a general education requirement. Many of our graduate students actually find employment as technicians or instructors for those classes. But let's continue the tour right now. Our next room is the criminalistics laboratory. So here, you won't find the same type of complicated instrumentation that we have seen in instrumental and toxicology. Criminalistics still uses microscopy as one of their main tools. So if you follow me into this room here, you will see, albeit covered, stereoscopes, different microscopes, and something you may recognize from TV, our comparison microscope, where you can align an unknown tool mark or an unknown bullet, unknown cartridge casing with a test fire or a reference sample to identify possible matches. This laboratory is in our core, and every student, regardless of specialization, is required to take this, because here we also teach forensic photography, evidence documentation, and we will hold a moot court where everybody has to testify on a report they've written on an evidence examination and testing. Switch everything on. Okay. All right, let's start over here. Our third specialization is forensic molecular biology, meaning DNA testing on biological evidence found at the crime scene. So here our laboratory is set up similar to toxicology, where we have a prep area and an instrumental area. The prep area here looks familiar, looks like any biology laboratory anywhere. The procedures we use to extract DNA from different tissues are all optimized to work with really small forensic samples. Students will learn different types of extraction methods, human DNA quantitation, and forensic genotyping. We also have additional experiments on mitochondrial DNA. So here is our prep area. Every student will have their own set of pipettes and get samples to work on. And here we have our thermal cyclers, which is the workhorse for forensic genetics, because we need to make copies of our material. We have real-time PCR, and we have endpoint PCR machine for our tests, and our genetic analyzer is a 3500 from Applied Biosystems, which is the instrument that is placed in every single forensic DNA laboratory in the US and the world. This machine is the state-of-the-art instrument for forensic genotyping. In addition to the instrumentation you've seen right now, we have some more digitized microscopes, 3D microscopes, and advanced instrumentation placed in research laboratories. We also have a firearms tank to do ballistics experiments. So those tools will be available for faculty-mentored research. Please contact me if you have any questions. I hope you enjoyed the tour.